I'd like to call this meeting of the Elkhart City Council to order. Would you please stand and join me in the pledge? Would you lead us in the pledge? Yes, you. For a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. Angie, would you do a roll call, please?
Councilman Holtz. Councilman Curry.
Here.
Councilwoman King. Here. Councilman Mishler.
Present.
Councilman Fish. I hear you, Dwight.
We can't hear you, Dwight. Turn your mic on. Pardon?
Oh, try again there, Dwight. Okay, we'll have IT work with you.
Councilwoman Hines. Here. Councilman Crabtree. Councilman Hankey. President Dawson.
Present. This is a reminder to everyone to make sure your cell phone is on airplane mode or vibration. Could I get a motion for minutes of approval for September 21st, 2024 Finance Committee of the Whole meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mishler, second by Mrs. Hines for approval. Would you do a roll call vote, Angie, on approval?
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish. Councilwoman Hines.
Aye.
Councilman Dawson.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Can I get a motion to approve the October 7th minutes of 2024?
So moved.
Got a motion for Mr. Mishler, second by Mrs. Hines for approval. Would you please do a roll call vote?
Councilman
Angie?
Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
President Dawson.
Aye.
We get him unmuted, I'm not.
Where are we with Mr. Fish? He's still working on it, okay.
Presentation.
At this time, we have a presentation. Mr. Huber with the holiday group will be giving us an update on the ordinance that's before us. Mr. White live?
I'm here, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Okay, James Randolph, 3454 Douglas Road, South Bend, Indiana. Just came in here today to give you guys a little brief update on where we're at with the project on County Road 17 and US 20, the Crossroads 41 project. I understand it's been some time since we've been back in front of you guys, so I wanted to give you an update. Over the last month, we've pushed through on our budget set of drawings, and we're starting to work through to get to our full set of construction drawings and bring this ordinance back in front of you guys to get the TIF through the final stages here. We've taken a decent look at the project again and kind of finalized, shored up the programming, redid some stuff on the site, redid some site elements, made it a little bit more efficient. I'm sorry, I had a flash drive with that, and I was going to show you guys today, but I didn't understand, like, I had to get that through the firewall first. So I'll have that ready for you guys when we bring the TIF back to you guys next week. But didn't want you guys to forget about us, and so I wanted to come back here today to see if there was any questions about the project that we could answer specifically.
Any questions?
Of course.
Mr. Curry?
You have a timeline now?
Yeah, so we're looking to get through the next 8 weeks to finish our construction set of drawings, finalize everything with the architects and the engineers, and then get things ready to go for permits in about 8 weeks. At that time, we'll start working through our financing packages too, to work with the banks locally to try to secure the debt on the project. And, we're hoping to have a ground break somewhere at the first part of next year.
Okay, and people can move in at the last part of next year?
So ideally, we have people coming in about 12 months after our start date is when we hope to have the first buildings turning on, and then we'll be phasing buildings out for the next 21 to 23 months after that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Reports of council committees. We have none. Ordinance on second and third reading. Proposed ordinance 24-0-40. Would you read that by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 24-0-40, an ordinance adopting a schedule of salaries and other compensation for the fire department of the city of Elkhart, Indiana for the calendar year 2025.
Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance?
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Curry, second by Mrs. Hines for adoption. Discussion on council. Seeing none, we'll open up to the public. Is there anything the public would like to say with regards to this proposed ordinance or the administration? Public hearing, anyone in the audience? Seeing none, we turn it back to the council. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Angie, would you do a roll call vote on the passage of this on second reading?
Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Third and final.
I got a motion from Mr. Mishler, second from Mrs. Hines to pass it on third and final. Angie, would you read it by title and do a roll call vote, please?
Proposed ordinance 24-0-40, an ordinance adopting a schedule of salaries and other compensation for the fire department of the city of Elkhart, Indiana for the calendar year 2025. Councilman Curry.
Yes.
Councilwoman King.
Yes.
Councilman Mishler.
Aye.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 6-0 on third and final.
Thank you. There are no ordinances or resolutions referred to committee. Proposed ordinance 24-10 will remain tabled. New business. Ordinance on first reading. Would you read proposed ordinance 24-0-41 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 24-0-41, an ordinance amending the zoning map created pursuant to ordinance number 4370, the zoning ordinance of the city of Elkhart, Indiana, as amended to rezone 203 North Napanee Street, Elkhart, Indiana 46514 from R2 one family dwelling to district to O office district.
With no objections, I'll pass this on to second reading. Would you read proposed ordinance 24-0-42 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 24-0-42, an ordinance amending the zoning map created pursuant to ordinance number 4370, the zoning ordinance of the city of Elkhart, Indiana, as amended to rezone 2520 and 2526 Bypass Road, Elkhart, Indiana, 46514 from M1 Limited Manufacturing District to R4 Multiple Family Dwelling.
There are no objections. I'll pass this on to second reading. Would you read proposed ordinance 24-0-43 by title, please?
Proposed ordinance 24-0-43, an ordinance enacting and adopting the 23rd and 24th supplements to the Code of Ordinances for the city of Elkhart, Indiana.
Thank you. If there are no objections, we'll pass this on to second reading. Would you read proposed ordinance 24-0-43 by title, please? Did you just read that one? Okay. So let's move
We're on
on to
resolutions.
Resolutions. Would you read proposed resolution 24-R-49 by title, please?
Proposed resolution 24-R-49, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, authorizing the transfer of $90,000 from the Lerner Theater personnel category to other services and charges category.
Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution? Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Mishler for adoption. Mr. Huber.
Good evening, Council. Mike Huber, Director of Development Services, City of Elkhart. I think it was either last meeting or the meeting before that. You'll remember we introduced you to Sherry May, who is the interim GM at the Lerner Theater. I believe that evening we also had Mr. Scott Welch from Conway Entertainment Group in the audience that evening. Many of you probably met him after the council meeting as well. Mr. Welch and Mr. McDaniel, as we discussed previously, have a contract with the city to find a full-time permanent GM, and they were able to bring forward Ms. May as a candidate for the interim GM. What you'll see this evening is a request to provide some funding that's within the current Lerner budget. They were always intended to be a team, interim GM and Mr. McDaniel and Mr. Welch, in terms of elements of the scope of Ms. May's contract as well. Mr. McDaniel and Mr. Welch, representing Conway Entertainment, will primarily be looking to support and work with Ms. May as the interim GM in both the analysis of the operating model and to help us identify and maximize any and all revenue alternatives that we might have and opportunities at the Lerner. Also to leverage their industry contacts in the development and facilitation of a full 2025 programming calendar. And then finally, to support the new permanent GM when that person is identified and help them transition into that role based on their work here on the operating model and working with Ms. May. So this is a contract we had anticipated probably being done in conjunction with Ms. May's contract. They just found her so fast that we were able to get her in and get her secured at first. So again, the contract here is a 6-month contract. We're looking at $15,000 a month for that contract. We're not asking for new dollars to be brought. This is money that's within the Lerner budget currently, and we're just asking to move the money to be able to fund the contract. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions? Mr. Mishler.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing them work together to move the Lerner into the next phase. My question is, following will we see another resolution in front of us in 5 months depending on when a new head of the Lerner is found to try to move that person in? Is this enough time?
This is anticipating to be inclusive.
Okay.
I think we were hoping that they would be able to find a suitable candidate within the first 90 to 120 days, and then take the remaining tenure of the contract, the last 2 or 3 months of the contract, to be able to help with that transition.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Huber.
Thank you.
This time I'll open it up to the public. Is anyone in public would like to speak with regards to this proposed resolution? Seeing none, we'll turn it back to council. Any more council discussion? Seeing none, Angie, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Curry,
Yes.
Councilwoman King,
Yes.
Councilman Mishler,
Aye.
Councilman Fish,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines,
Yes.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Would you read proposed resolution 24-R-50 by title, please?
Proposed Resolution 24-R-50, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Elkhart, Indiana, declaring a certain area to be an economic revitalization area for the purpose of granting tax phase-in benefits to Consolidated Metals, Inc., Westwood Manor, Inc.
Thank you. Can I get a motion and a second to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Mishler, second by Mrs. Hines for the adoption. Council discussion. Maybe we need to hear from you first, Drew.
Good evening, Council. Drew Wines, Economic Development. Consolidated Metals, Inc., or CMI, is a manufacturer of steel tubing with production capabilities for a wide variety of tubing sizes, shapes, and gauges. This project involves a $625,000 investment in existing building improvements following the purchase of 3504 Cooper Drive, which will be CMI's new headquarters. CMI's personal property investment includes a $9,129,500 investment in steel mills. This is an advanced manufacturing project that renovates a facility that is over 25 years old. We are recommending a 5-year real property and 5-year personal property tax phase-in. This project is projected to create 30 new jobs with an average annual wage of $50,981. There are representatives from CMI in the audience this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Are there any questions?
Just real quick.
Thank you, Drew. This time I'd open up to the public. Is anyone from the public who would like to speak with regards to this resolution? Seeing none, we turn it back to the council. Any further council discussion? Mr. Mishler.
Hey, Drew, if you would, real quick. So average salary is about $50,981 projected for the 30 new positions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's about $26 an hour, give or take, right around there.
That sounds correct. I would defer the company to talk more about those company-specific details.
Okay, that was it. I see everything else. They fit into the metrics and everything. And Mike answered a couple questions earlier I had regarding the kind of unique property situation, but that seems to be all taken care of. So thank you guys for handling that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Angie, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Curry,
Yes.
Councilwoman King,
Yes.
Councilman Mishler,
Aye.
Councilman Fish,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines,
Yes.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Other new business. Is there any other new business? I would like to ask the Public Works and Improvement Committee to get with our Parks Department Superintendent to talk about the strategic plan they have for the Parks Department, so that can be presented to the committee so the council can understand where they are moving forward. So, Mr. Fish, you are chairman of that committee, so if you would coordinate that and let us know
Yes.
when that would be, we'd appreciate it. Reports, Mayor, Board of Works, Board of Safety, City Department heads. Seeing none, open the floor for neighborhood associations. Any neighborhood associations?
We'll get you at the next meeting. Here, Moran.
Give me a red, okay.
Here, Moran.
Your mic.
October 29th at 6 p.m., we're having a community meeting in regards to Ullery Park, and that location will be at the Hope Fellowship Church, right at the corner, 1618 South 6th Street, to talk about changes to Ullery Park, and we want you to share your ideas and meet park staff. So if you have any questions, you can call 574-295-7275, and we will be passing out flyers in the community to bring awareness to this meeting, and look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Next week, Mr. Curry, right?
Next
Okay.
meeting.
Privilege of the floor. At this time, is there anyone in the audience, misters, that would like to come and speak before us, before anything that's not on the agenda, please come forward.
My name is Ralph Spelbring. I live on the block that Senator Barack Obama visited the first Sunday of May of 2008. At that time, I wasn't aware of what a basketball fanny was. Recently, I heard a radio spot mentioning that the Obama Center will open in Chicago on 2026. It's at 60th and Stony Island. I know the 1896 convention was at 71st and Stony Island. In Chicago, I think, it's hosted 25 conventions, which is by far the most of any city in the United States. You had the TV initials up there. I want to point out that WISH 8 in Indianapolis and TV 10 WTHI in Terre Haute are celebrating 70 years this year. WNIT Channel 34 is celebrating 50 this year. I also want to point out that Indiana University is having the best football season since 1967, 57 years ago. I happened to be a student there that year. I attended the Rose Bowl. That was O.J. Simpson's junior year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spilberg. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else in the audience? Seeing none, we turn it back to council. There's no scheduling of committee meetings at this time, unless Mr. Fish has anything.
Not yet.
Okay. Acceptance
I'll
of
get-
communications.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Curry, a second by Mrs. Hines to accept for acceptance of communication. Angie, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Curry,
Yes.
Councilwoman King. Yes. Councilman Mishler. Councilwoman Hines.
Yes.
Councilman Fish.
Yes.
President Dawson.
Aye.
Passes 6-0.
Can I get a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mrs. Hines, second by Mr. Mishler. Angie, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Councilman Curry,
Yes.
Councilwoman King,
Yes.
Councilman Mishler. Councilman Fish.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hines. President Dawson.
Aye.
6-0 that we adjourn.